Hey everybody, exciting episode today. We're going to talk about a museum that's all about math. I know that sounds boring, but it's not. It's pretty cool. And an AI image generator. A lot of people are upset about this. I think it's not going anywhere. That's why I'm talking about it here. AI generated tools are they're gonna be with us for a while. Let's talk about really intelligent goats, and of course a fantastic business idea for DJs and karaoke spots. Let's get into it. The first thing is the National Museum of Mathematics. Now, you think that sounds boring, math is boring. It's not, math can be cool, and this actually shows it. So instead of just, boring, boring, I don't know what it would be, boring, here's a math problem, learn about this. There's all kinds of interactive activities. It's very colorful, it's very exciting, it's in New York City. I'm gonna show you two things that I really like about it. But right on the homepage, first of all, it says making math fun, and from the pictures, I agree. I just want to scroll down a little bit here. On the homepage, they actually have Mo Math fans. That's what it's called, Mo National Museum of Mathematics, or Mo Math. We have Bill and Hillary Clinton holding up their shirts, and Jeff Bezos taking a ride on square wheels. I didn't know you could ride on square wheels, but apparently you can there. So here's two things that I think are really interesting. Before I go there, actually, I love how bright and exciting and fun and modern this looks. This looks as if like Apple made a museum and they wanted to add a bunch of colorful things like clean lines, very white, very modern, really beautiful looking. Two things I like about their website. The first thing is they have exhibit guides. So it looks like it's 2 floors. And so you can see on each floor, you see a map of where everything is. And then there's a little description underneath. So even before you get there, you'll know how to get around. Because sometimes in museums, you get lost. It's like giant IKEA stores, right? But here, you see a map of the first floor and then the second floor here, and little descriptions, and some of them sound really fun. This looks like it might be for kids, but I think I'd like to go. So that's the first thing. If you're a museum, do you have, number one, is your museum, could it be confusing to people? And number two, do you have maps of where people can go right on your website? I think it'll help some people understand how to get around even before they get there. The second thing, and I think this is really the most impressive thing that I saw about them, was this is their events page. So I want to show you something here. So it says upcoming events at MoMath. Just going to scroll down. So just between, let's say, May 1st and May 7th, I'm just going to count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So between May 1st and May 7th, they have 17 events. Looking at this looks like a museum that's alive, that's active, that things are going on, right? This doesn't look like something that's just been the same for 15 years. And, when you scroll down a little bit more, there's just tons of events all the time. And as a visitor to museums, that's a really exciting thing to see. So if you're a museum, when people look at your website, does it look the same? Does it have the same information that it's had for years? Does it look stale? Well, do you have events, or can you come up with some events and make it seem more active and more alive? Because that's what MoMath did, and they did a fantastic job. I'm very impressed with the number of events that they have here. So, talking about math, you really need to know math if you're going to make AI tools. So I'm sure that you've seen AI in the news. I don't talk about news here, but this is technology that is going to be here for a very long time. And essentially all AI functions the same way in regards to, I'm just pulling up my notes here, in regards to you asked the AI a question, which is called a prompt, and it gives you a response. So let me show you an example. I'm going to show you Dall-E by OpenAI. OpenAI is sort of the big name in AI right now, and this is Dall-E. So when you get an account, and it's free, you get an account, you go to the Dall-E page, and it says start with a detailed description. So if you typed in something like, so this is for images, that's what this one does. A painting of a white sailboat in New York Harbor. Pretty simple, right? So when you do that and hit generate, what happens is the AI makes 4 images for you of exactly what you're looking for. So, as you can imagine, 4 images of paintings, looks like a white sailboat in New York Harbor. Genius, right? Let me show you some more. So here, the next one is, I'm going to read exactly what the prompt was. A 3D render of a cute tropical fish in an aquarium on a dark blue background, and call it digital art. Now this looks like something that Pixar would make. like very cute Pixar-y, sort of Disney fish, kind of Nemo looking, but this was basically in seconds it made these things. And what's great is that if someone else goes here, like if you take the words I just said and go to Dall-E and type it in, you're not going to get the same results. These are unique to my session right here, generated just for me using AI. Let me show you some more. Here is, let me read to you, an oil painting of a panda talking on an iPhone while standing in Times Square. Right? Now, why would someone need that? I don't know. I'm just I'm just showing you what AI is capable of. And here's a great example. A couple more. A hot dog that is really a monster but made out of clay. So, and it's amazing that it's AI not only makes the subject of what I'm saying and variations of that, but things around it. So for example, one of the pictures kind of has some mustard on the side and it's on like a cutting board. Another one's kind of on like a corner of a table, but you see something kind of looks like wallpaper in the back. These images, these photographs look like real images, but these do not exist. They've never existed. And once I clear my screen here, no one's ever going to see these again unless I save these out. They're unique to me. So we'll do two more. So this is a painting and a pencil and watercolor painting of a cute yellow cat and a brown dog going on an adventure together. This looks like something that would be in a children's book, but AI made it in just a second. Really, really impressive. And the last one, and you'll see how I tied this in. The last one, a stained glass window depicting a green goat singing karaoke. I'm pretty confident that nowhere in the world is a stained glass window depicting a green goat singing karaoke, but right here on the screen there's 8 of them. And they look real. They look like they're inside a building. And I wanted to show you two we'll call it series of images, because when you type in the prompt, there's another button that just says, I think it says regenerate, and it'll just make you more of the same prompt that you added. And these are real impressive. I mean, it's exactly that. It's a green goat, and he's got a microphone in some of them. He's got his mouth open. He's singing. He's having a good time. So amazing. And talking about goats, here's a lot of goats. I found this, and this is by, I just want to get it right. This is by viruscomics.com, and it says the maturity climb. Very cool. So there's sort of 3, there's one, it's a hill or a mountain or so on the side of it. There's sort of one plateau and then kind of an angle and then another plateau. The ones at the bottom are sort of the younger goats. The ones at the top are the older mature. So I just want to zoom in here because they did a fantastic job. So this is supposed to be the less mature, younger goats. So I'm just going to read you off some of these. So it says, focuses on differences, can't admit responsibility, has to be right, takes out problems on others, takes everything personally, knows everything, entitled, tells, obsessed with status, right? That is definitely, they depicted a lot of sort of the youth and when you're younger, how you look at things. And then the middle part of this, sort of a hill, I'm assuming this is kind of middle-aged, becoming a little bit mature. It says, does it anyway, wants to fix them, but that refers to the other one. It says sees no flaws, but wants to fix, I'm assuming, flaws. It says obsessed with questioning and knows that it bloody well isn't, because the other one says thinks it's about age. This one says no, that it isn't, and is built for climbing. And then at the top, so here's the green goats. None of them are singing karaoke, but here's the green goats. Wants to help, focuses on having friends, respects others' intelligence, obsessed with facts, assumes as little as possible, listens, isn't afraid to fail, grateful, understand, knows nothing, talks out problems with others. So I love what they did here. Visually, it's really good eye candy, and it has a great message behind it. So congrats, Virus Comics, fantastic job. Now, let's see how this all ties together here, the genius plan. So the green karaoke, the green goat singing karaoke. So if you've never sang karaoke, it's fun. My wife and I have seen karaoke in a few different countries. And so this is actually inspired by some great time with Kevin from Bulgaria, and at Funky's at Sunny Beach in Bulgaria, and some time we spent in Istanbul at the Maymun bar and hanging out with Ali. All fantastic. So if you've never sang karaoke, here's essentially how it works. So it's a restaurant, a bar. And you're sitting at a table and there's a DJ up there, and what you have to do is you have to go up there and you get a few pieces of paper and he gives you a pen, and so you go back to your seat and you go, okay, well, I want to sing this song, and you write it down, right? So you write down, I put like Stand by Eminem, that's my jam. Stand by Eminem. You could do like Rocket Man by Elton John, Where's the Love by the Black Eyed Peas, Creep Radiohead, whatever, on individual piece of paper. Then you walk back up there and you hand it to the DJ. Now, you got to keep in mind that that's not only you doing that, that's also other people at the bar and restaurant, right? So the DJ is getting lots of little scraps of piece of paper with songs written on it. So whatever the first song is that he has in the stack and in his hands that he gets, what the DJ does, and now there are some DJ places that don't really have many songs, like whatever's built into their stupid little machine, but the most DJs, well, on karaoke, what they do is they just go to YouTube, because YouTube has basically every song that you could ever want in karaoke versions. So you could go to YouTube and type like Rocket Man by Elton John karaoke, and you'll get a bunch of different versions. Now, that's a problem for the DJ, because the DJ doesn't know what's the best version for karaoke. So every piece of paper that the DJ gets, he has to go to YouTube, and on his headphones, so no one else can hear it, he plays the first few, or plays the first one, maybe it sucks, maybe there's something weird. Right, and he goes to the next one. Okay, plays a few, plays a minute of that. So each time the DJ has to play a song, this is exactly what he does. He goes to YouTube and goes back and forth, right? But okay, let's say he finds the right one. This is the best song. And so he goes, okay, Ian, your time, come up there, sing Stand by Eminem. And so, I get up there, sing my song, have a good time, and then go back to the seat. Now, all the while, the other people don't know when they're up, right? Because they don't know who's put in songs. So they can't, you don't want to like go to the bathroom, or you don't want to like step outside or do whatever, because you never know when you're going to get called up to sing karaoke and you want to be there. So if you think of all the points of friction here, like Mr. Miyagi, right? Points of friction here. So having to go up to the DJ and get a pen and a piece of paper. The DJ has to have a pen and a piece of paper, right? Then you sit back down and you write it all out. And then the DJ has to keep track of who's giving them all these pieces of paper, right? And he could be flooded. He could have dozens, depending on how big the place is. He could have dozens of little slips of paper with songs on it that he has to keep track of, who's doing what. And each song, the next point of friction here, is he needs to go to YouTube and find the best karaoke version video on YouTube for each and every song. And that takes forever. And then, of course, nobody, like I just mentioned, nobody else knows when they're up, or when their next song is. It could be in 20 minutes or it could be in 30 seconds. You don't know. So I came up with an idea that would solve all of these problems, and let me show it to you. Please steal this idea. Please do this. Here we go. Okay, so I came up with an imaginary name. We call it timetosing.com. So imagine that on the monitors, because all karaoke places have the monitors where the words come up, right? So imagine it said, go to timetosing.com on your phone and enter the party code 664FD. Doesn't matter the code, right? So you go there, because everybody has a phone, right? You go there on your phone, it says enter the party code. You type it in, boom, verify, okay, good. And then at that point, because the system would know that that code is associated with that particular restaurant or bar, then the logo for the bar could come up, and then it would say enter your name. Doesn't have to be real, because you need to be able to call people up by something. And then it says upload a selfie, optional, because why not? People like to upload stuff like that. So once they do that, on the next screen, and this will solve so many problems. So number one, at the top, you can see that Ian is currently singing Stand by Eminem. It's a 4-minute and 35-second song, and you can see a little progress bar, right? So you can see about when Ian is going to be done. That way, the next person in line will know, oh, in about 2 minutes, you got to go up there and sing. And then you can see, everyone else can see, oh, well, after this song by Stand by Eminem, then it's going to be Come As You Are by, I'm assuming, Nirvana, and then Piano Man by Amy, and then John will sing Creep by Radiohead, right? So you can see the order of people that are going to go up there. So the DJ doesn't have to doesn't have to have all these pieces of paper anymore. Now, it also says, there's a big button at the bottom, it says, I want to sing. So let's say, now we're going to make believe this person's name is Nick that signed in, right? Nick wants to sing Sweet Dreams by Marilyn Manson. Great song. So when he does a search for that, then all the YouTube results come up, and he can just, Nick, sitting at his seat, can just hit the play button, put it up to his ear, and listen, go, oh yeah, that's a good one. Or no, this one sucks, whatever reason, let me look at the next one. Now I'm thinking here, once there's some data in this system, you could do like show last week's top hits, or show random ones that people have sung here, right? You could add some interactivity like that. I would say that would come down the road. But for right now, people can just search for their own songs. So now the DJ doesn't have to do it. So let's say, Nick likes the top one here. I like this song. It says this one. So he pushes the button, takes him back to the first screen, and then you can see that Nick's song is at the bottom of the queue, and it says at the bottom, it says, then you will sing Sweet Dreams by, right? And you can see it's outlined in green, and it has a little X button. So let's say he didn't want to sing it anymore, he could hit the X, because I can't tell you how many times I've been at karaoke, and the DJ is like, oh, is Dan here ready to sing something, and Dan left, right? But didn't go tell the DJ. So that system eliminates that. And then now you can see that Ian has already sang his song, and that Come As You Are, and that cool guy 443 is now singing Come As You Are. It's kind of at the beginning, right? So that's going to solve so many problems. And there needs to be some settings for a system like this. Let me just read you off a few of them that I think would be obviously very important. So there needs to be a URL for the monitors. So what happens is DJs, they have multiple monitors around, and they simply drag a browser window to their external monitor, and it shows up on all those screens. So you got to have a URL for that, so that way it'll automatically come up. And then upload a logo, upload the restaurant or bar logo. And then there should be an option like let singers add unlimited songs, or only add one song at a time until after they sing, right? Because you don't want one person to just add 30 songs and then they just take over. There's that. And then there should be, what happens in between songs? Should it immediately play the next song, or should it display a custom message? And if it's going to display a custom message, should it, you can type in some text, and there should also be some sort of music. So it says, and play these YouTube videos in random order, put one YouTube URL on each line, and then how long should this custom message appear between songs? So you go 60 seconds, 120 seconds, whatever. But this message could be used like, I'd imagine a bar wants to advertise, order your 2-for-1 drinks now, or get today's special, whatever it is, right? You could have a message show up in between on all the monitors, in between each song, right? Now, of course, there's more settings, but that's essentially the idea. I think a lot of that's thought through, and it solves so many problems. Now, that's great. Now you're thinking, okay, what can we do with that? How do we sell that? Here's what I would do. I would, let's say this system was made, and it's honestly not that difficult, because you can tap into YouTube with the YouTube API. There's no real accounts, it's based on IP address, so it's not that complex of a system to build. But let's say that it's done, right? Here's what I would do. I would, number one, go around, or maybe even find on Facebook or Instagram or something, like the local DJs, and say, hey, I have this system, can you try it out and let me know what you think, right? So get a few local DJs, just try it out for free, and say, hey, listen, if you like it, can you just give me a video testimonial, and it'll be free for you forever, right? So that's how you would start that, and start building testimonials of DJs that really like your product, right? And then you can start by actually charging restaurants and bars for this. So here's what I would do. I would reach out and say, hey, whatever the name of the restaurant or bar is near you, you know what, you can try this system for free for the first month, and then it's $100 a month. Tiny money, but it's going to eliminate so many points of friction, and that's really what you want to do with any sort of business, any sort of website, is eliminate friction. And I think another important key here is what I would add is I would add unlimited one-on-one setup assistance. So have someone that can FaceTime or whatever. Maybe that would FaceTime with the DJ and go, oh, so you're at this point, okay, here's what I need you to do. Click on this, do this, whatever. Give everything that they need, give these restaurants and bars everything they need to set up this system, right? That's going to be key. It's not very hard, but that's a major benefit, so people don't feel like they're alone, right? Okay, that was a lot of talking. So I told you that we went to Bulgaria and Istanbul. That was actually year 2, but we're writing a book for our year 1 of travels, where we went to 5 different countries. We didn't actually sing any karaoke the first year. We should have. But that book is coming soon, so watch this show, and I'll let you know when the book is ready. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.